Welcome, fellow dreamers. Welcome to Northland Homestead. So, as the title suggests, I got bariatric surgery. I am currently almost 2 weeks into my post-op, and I thought I would share with you guys my experience so far. My surgery date was August 28th, and it went very smoothly, no complications or anything like that. I ended up getting the gastric sleeve, which is where they cut off about 80% of your stomach, and you're left with like a banana-shaped remnant left. It ended up being a lot more painful than I expected. I've had 2 C-sections because unfortunately I just was not able to give birth the natural way. So I ended up having to do C-sections, and I thought it would be a lot simpler than the C-sections were. And in some ways it was, because instead of a really, really deep, long cut, it was 5 smaller cuts. But in other ways that kind of makes it more complicated because you have 5 wound sites instead of just the 1. Also, you're still able to eat like normal after you give birth, and with this you can only have liquids and a very, very small amount of that. So for the past 2 weeks I have only been able to consume protein shakes, and it's left me feeling like I'm starving. And in some ways I guess you kind of are. You are not consuming near enough calories to sustain your day-to-day life. Plus, you get so sick of those protein shakes, it becomes really hard to stomach any at all. So I was definitely at the point where I was only really probably consuming about 50 calories a day, maybe up to 75 or something like that, but a very, very small amount. But I'm doing much better now. I have just been cleared to do pureed foods. So since I did my 2 weeks of liquid diet only, I am now on a 4-week plan to just do pureed foods, which is so much better. I don't think I'll be complaining anytime soon about eating pureed foods because it's better than the liquid was. So I've already had a little bit of mashed potatoes. You can only have a 1/4 cup of food at a time now that I am on the 4 weeks of pureed foods. But it honestly feels like it's plenty because your stomach is so small anyway. So yeah, it's been going pretty well. I've already lost 34 pounds in just under 2 weeks, so that's pretty incredible. But I will say that there were plenty of times where I cried so hard because I was just so hungry and so sick of being in pain and so sick of just having these protein shakes, and you really just don't feel like your life is normal. And it definitely is an adjustment period. I think anyone who has to have this surgery knows that food is a very important part of their lives. If it wasn't, you wouldn't need the surgery. But with it being such an important part of your life, it's a great loss to lose that as well. I know that I will be gaining so many new things in my life, having more energy already. I'll be able to exercise more and do a lot of the other activities that maybe I haven't felt energetic or capable enough to do. So I'm really looking forward to all of that. But it is a loss nonetheless, and I do think there is a bit of a grieving period for that, and coupled with the lack of calories, it can make you a little bit emotional. So I will say that those first 2 weeks were pretty difficult, but now that I'm past that point and I'm feeling much stronger, my wound sites don't really hurt that much. It gets a little bit twingy here and there if I'm not stretching enough those sites. It can just kind of feel a little bit, uncomfortable. But I've already started hiking a little bit. I have to take it pretty slow. I can't go very long, but I'm building my body up to be able to do more and more, and it's getting really exciting because I'm starting to see a little bit of the fruits of my labor. Would I recommend this surgery to somebody who is also overweight and looking to get into a healthier position? Yes and no. I think if you also feel as I did, where you've tried many different ways of losing weight and just are unable to do it, and you feel ready to do whatever it takes to live a long and healthy life, then I absolutely recommend it, because sometimes for some of us it's just all that you can really do, and I don't think there's any shame in that, because it's in no way a silver bullet or taking the easy way out. It is a really, really hard thing to go through. It is not easy. So yeah, if you're feeling strong enough to go through that and you feel like it's worth it to live a long and happy, healthy life, then yes, I do recommend it. But if you're not in that place, no, I wouldn't do it. It's a very extreme thing to go through. It didn't feel as extreme to me until I actually did it, and then I realized just how extreme it really is, because it does require a lot of emotional strength and a lot of physical strength as well. It's difficult to go through, and I wouldn't call it easy by any means. But with that being said, I feel very glad that I did it, which is something I wasn't always able to say in those 2 weeks. I definitely had moments of regret and feeling like, what did I do to myself? But now that I'm on the other side of that coin, I'm feeling much better and feeling like I made the right call. For those of you wondering what the kind of process looks like to get bariatric surgery, I know it's different for everyone according to their insurance, but from my experience, it took about 2 months from my first consultation to my surgery date. That's a little bit quick though. I will say that my surgery place was able to get me in a little bit quicker than I know other bigger cities are able or capable of doing. So your story might be quite different. I would say it would be anywhere from 2 months to probably 4 or 6 months in all actuality. Gotta take my water breaks because this is a big part of the recovery process. But if you guys have more questions on what the process looks like to get this surgery or what the recovery process has been so far, let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them for you guys. But that's all I have so far. I do apologize for the delay in me posting. I just needed some time to prepare for the surgery and then to also recover from the surgery. But now I'm feeling much better and I should be back to posting on a regular basis from now on. Thank you for your patience and your understanding with that. Sometimes it's just a time for healing, and that's been the case for me over the past few weeks. But thank you so much for joining today, and we will catch you next time. Bye.